A debate over some of the things we eat and where they come from at the state capitol today. The call for genetically engineered foods to be labeled as such.
Fox Connecticut's Beau Berman reported on this last year. He continues our coverage tonight after the first public testimony on the issue. Beau.
Yeah, Allison, it's widely estimated that at least 70% of the foods out there are genetically modified, and it's tough to know which because the package usually doesn't say. 30 states now are discussing legislation to mandate the labeling of foods made by using this relatively new technology of modifying their genetic makeup. The technology can produce crops with special benefits, but those in favor of this bill argue that there can be serious downsides at the dinner table and that consumers at least have a right to know what's in their food. Jerry Greenfield may not look familiar, but you've probably tasted his ice cream, Ben & Jerry's. The co-founder handed out scoops today at the Capitol after driving down from Vermont to testify in favor of the GMO labeling bill.
I think if it passes in Connecticut, it will definitely help.
There's talk of legislation in several other states as well. But what are GMOs? And why do all these people think they're bad? Michael Hansen, lead scientist at Consumer Reports magazine, gave examples of some genetic combinations.
A gene from a mouse, put it into a corn plant. A gene from spiders for spider silk, put it into a goat. Genes from humans put into rice plants.
Those unnatural combinations can end up in foods. The FDA considers genetically modified organisms in food as safe. Yet most of Europe and other major countries question that assessment and already require GMO foods to be labeled.
These foods need to be required to go through safety assessment before they come on the market.
This hits home to all of us. This is about what we eat.
The same push for labeling failed last year amid rumors the state could be sued if it passed. But it didn't stop Representative Phil Miller from sponsoring this year's bill.
We may get sued by big agribusiness, but hopefully our Attorney General will be willing to defend us.
Despite big support, there's opposition from the Connecticut Food Association, Farm Bureau, Retailers Association, and the biotech industry.
The only time scientists have ever found a difference in safety between biotech-derived foods and other foods, the biotech foods were shown to be safer.
It would add a lot of expense to doing business in the state of Connecticut, and unfortunately this will be passed along to the Connecticut consumers.
But Jerry calls those claims out from his role in the food industry, saying they're just not true.
It's something that's going to happen because people want it to happen. And maybe industry is a little behind, and maybe legislatures, by and large, are a little behind, but it's going to happen.
Now, if the bill passes committee, proponents will have a couple weeks to convince House and Senate leaders that it's worthy of bringing to the floor for a vote. If that happens, then it would be up to the governor to be on board. Live in the studio, Beau Berman, Fox, Connecticut.